The venue, which would become known as the Victoria Hall, began its life in January 1891, when the Salisbury Swimming Club and Steam Laundry Company Limited was founded.
In May 1892, a new pool was opened in Rollstone Street. After introducing the mayor, the chairman of directors, Mr. Fred Griffin, gave the City Corporation a guided tour of the steam laundry before settling down to watch a performance by the Beckworths, a celebrated family of swimmers. The swimming bath was 80 feet in length by 34 feet wide. The shallow end was 3 feet 6 inches and deepened gradually to 6 feet 6 inches. The swimming tank, when full, held 90,000 gallons of water, which was pumped from a well 14 feet deep, especially sunk for the purpose. The water could be kept to a temperature from 75 to 80 degrees by the injection of steam. It became a great attraction, and patrons appreciated the heated water, a luxury at the time.
In June 1892, a fire was detected in the roof of the Salisbury Steam Laundry, situated here in Salt Lane. The manageress, who was working late that night after all the staff had gone home, smelt the smell of burning wood, and her attention was drawn to flames in the roof. She at once sent for the Salisbury Volunteer Fire Brigade, who arrived promptly and put out the fire. No serious damage was done on this occasion.
Early in 1900 began the practice of covering the large swimming bath during the winter months, so it became a public hall, and from then on was called the Victoria Hall. In the early 1920s, it was decided to completely renovate the Victoria Hall. It was to become a general place of assembly. The scheme was carried out at a considerable expense, but a calamity was to strike again.
In June 1922, another fire was detected here at the Steam Laundry. This time, the damage was extensive. The flames were in the roof of this building and they spread through to the adjoining Victoria Hall. It was fortunate that the Salisbury Fire Station was located close by in Salt Lane, and they saved this building from a much worse fate.
From the end of 1924, a revamped Victoria Hall was ready for bookings. Salisbury citizens were able to enjoy roller skating, dances, exhibitions, stage entertainments, boxing contests and all sorts of shows. It also proved useful for local societies, including Salisbury Amateur Operatic Society. Many famous celebrities of the musical world appeared at the Victoria Hall over the years, including the famous orchestra conductor Sir Adrian Boult.
I can remember this building in the 1970s when it was known as the Tisbury Printing Works. In fact, that famous old swimming pool was still there then, but over the years become neglected until two property developers bought it and they brought it back to its former glory, and now they've given it the respect it deserves.
During the course of owning the property, clearly we knew we were buying a Grade 2 listed building. You understand, some of the history, but as part of that conveyancing, obviously you do get some of the heritage.
I don't think you can take on a project like this just as a development. You have to have an interest in the history of the building. So we were very much of the view, it's got to be put back into use. What is an appropriate use for it?
We've tried very much to work with the architecture of the building, being as sympathetic as possible.
The previous planning application that had been put in to turn it into residential apartments was actually 3 really big 2-beds, 1 apartment on each floor. It seemed to work very nicely. But when you started looking at the detail of the planning, there's a fireplace in a hallway. That doesn't really work, does it? And our option put that fireplace back into a living room.
And some of the bedrooms have got lovely panelling, the old fireplaces. There's 3 floors, there's a cellar as well. So left and right are 1-bed flats, but they are big.
So it seemed like we had a viable development, one that was probably a better solution for the building in terms of its configuration and bringing some of those features back into used lived-in rooms. So we were very cognizant of the original usage of some of the rooms and tried wherever we could to bring a similar usage back into our development. To a point, we've reached that.
I really like the result now. It's really feels quite sort of private and secluded up here and special. to find something like this in Salisbury. But I think more and more visits like yours, people on the street saying I used to work there, or did you know, that all adds in the flavour. So actually where we are now, almost 2 years from buying the building, I think we've got quite a nice view of the heritage of the building.